Hey, good morning. At least it's my morning anyway. So last night I shot a good hour of video on my GoPro, and then it, brand new by the way, the 8 Black, and it asked to do a firmware update. I ran the firmware update, and then it bricked. So all that video is gone. So it's great, really great. Anyway, so I'm going to try to quickly recap, and then I'm really hoping to get this done today and then posted, and I'm hoping to do you know, way more vlogs for the month of December than I have for the last several months. So to recap, let's see here. So this is my mobile toolbox right here. This is normally what I keep at the bike shop that I work at, and so sorry, I've only been awake for like an hour. I stayed up way too late last night trying to fix the GoPro. Thankfully, I've got their insurance thing, so I think I'm just going to send it back and get another one. Anyway, yeah. So mobile toolbox that I want to be able to put into the basement and have a nice clean place to put it. I also want to have a complete shop. I've got a bunch of projects I'm working on, so I'm going to drag you into the basement. So yeah, so here's said dead GoPro. Real bummer too. So to try to quickly recap, I know I'm not doing a very good job, but like I said, I'm not very awake yet. But let me turn on all these lights so you can actually see. So this is a bottom corner of the basement. So when my girlfriend and I bought this house, we inherited all of this stuff that you see. This crappy bench, all of that stuff, with the exception of the bicycle stuff and a handful of tools. All of this stuff that you see was already here, including, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I can get this in the shot, all of this stuff. So if it's bicycle related, it's obviously mine, but all of this other stuff, they just left. And for the record, I'm not complaining, Jack, if you ever see this video, I'm not complaining. It's actually really coming in handy because so last night in the video, I actually moved this entire bench. It was actually bolted to here, but the problem though, as you can see, is somebody took like a combination of a hatchet and, oh, I'm really badly lit here, a hatchet and I don't know what all. And this whole thing was completely covered in holes, and it looked just absolutely terrible. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reasonably patch these holes. I was just kind of goofing off. I kind of suspected it wouldn't work because when drywall, the hole in a drywall gets to a certain size, it's no longer practical to really do plaster over it. What is this stuff called? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. All-purpose joint compound. And so I realized that some of it isn't going to work really perfectly. I'll probably have to go back over it with the appropriate patch. I'll either have to cut this out and put in drywall, or I'll have to get one of those aluminum ones. So like the outlet down here, which is utterly and completely hosed, is just trashed, and so on. Then I also didn't realize, but this bench here is just really shoddily made. This isn't even bolted on or screwed on correctly. It actually moves. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's super sketch. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Yeah, but ultimately my point is, wow, I'm just rambling. I'm so sorry. My caffeine hasn't kicked in yet. My point is, I'm gonna repaint this whole area. Let's see here. I'm gonna do the whole thing. I'm gonna repaint both walls, and I'm gonna redo the floor, and actually paint it with floor paint, because I actually have floor paint right there. Porch and patio floor paint, as you can see. So my goal is to make this look like a real shop. As you can see, I've got some somewhat decent lights. I've also got, I ordered some of those really small LED lights. Where are you? Oh. Sorry, I've been thinking about toying with like 600 million different things all at the same time. So I've got a bunch of these. Well, I shouldn't say a bunch. I ordered 3 of them. And the idea that I'm hoping that I can do is I can mount one to the wall over here to create more light, and then have another one. I'm going to have my bike stand over here. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure everything's in the shot. And then I'm hoping to be able to light everything appropriately, so that way everything is really super clear. This is a complete mess, and I'm just trying to summarize moderately quickly. And then the other thing, so this is the other super weird room in here. Again, this blue bike, I don't know if you can see it. I'm rebuilding that thing from the frame up. It's my friend Luke's. It was left out in the weather way too long, and the seat post corroded permanently into the frame. So I'm using lye to actually melt the seat post out of it, and I'll be doing that in another video. I've also got an inexpensive BMX bike that I'm going to build on a world-class level, and I'm going to show people how to do that. That's going to be one of the next videos. So ultimately my point being is, as soon as I can get this done, which shouldn't take too long because I can take breaks since I'm working from home, I'll be able to set up the rest of the shop and actually get moving. Now, so this way I'll have an environment where for repair-related stuff, I can come in whenever I want, day or night, and I don't have to worry about the weather outside, because previously I had my bike shop stand outside, not my mobile one. And weather not agreeing with me. The other thing really quick is I actually got an old TV and computer from work. They were just going to recycle it, but there's nothing wrong with it. I think one of these towers has an i3 in it, a i3 processor. So it's pretty decent. It's not too bad, and I'll be able to stream audio and be able to look up technical information. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. I guess you basically missed out on me unmounting this from the wall and pulling all these screws and nails and everything out, and the shelves that I had. It's kind of a mess, but what do you do? On a positive note, I did buy this Canon to be able to shoot with as well, so at least I'll be able to shoot with this until I get the other GoPro replaced. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. So as I work on this, I'll make more videos relating to it and what we discover. Yeah. I'm gonna go have some more coffee, you know, get my day started. That's 9:30. I may even run to a Harbor Freight, because I live not too far from a Harbor Freight, and buy, I think that's a really good idea. I'm gonna go buy the patches so that way I don't have to worry about it later. I'll just immediately have it. Cool. I'm gonna end this here. Thanks. Oh, also, I've been trying to like think of more constructive taglines, and what I keep thinking about is this idea of setting yourself up for success. One of the really big challenges I had when I was younger was not being proactive on setting myself up for success, both in life and career and relationships and everything else. It's the same thing with cycling. You really want to set yourself up for a successful experience. So this is one of those things that I'm trying to do, where I'm setting up an environment where I can create a successful environment so I can be able to do more things. So yeah, so set yourself up for success and go have a nice day. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Hello and welcome back. I decided just to run over to Harbor Freight super fast. Went and got a patch kit, and I just got a couple other basic tools. Oh, did I forget them upstairs? No, it's in there. I bought a whole pack of these putter scrapers because I wanted one that was super fat, as well as a mask for when I'm sanding, and busted out the sanders. I knocked down the first layer, so it's looking way better, and then quickly, while I was taking a break from work, put down another layer. It's been drying for a while now. I think I'll be able to quickly sand it here in a little bit and then double check. I'll do the outlet last, which of course you out here. The outlet, which looks like complete ass. I have no idea why anybody would do that. So I'm going to do that last, and then I'll sweep up and then paint. I also got a cheap roller because I'm cultured, and yeah, I figured, you know, that's a good start. Still trying to figure out what I want to do with this bench. It looks like complete ass. I've got a bench in my garage that I'm half tempted to replace with this, but I need to take measurements for everything and see if it'll fit. But I figure one thing at a time, right? So yeah, this is pretty close to being done. I'll patch this up, and then I figure what I'll do here is I'll just wrap this up, slap it up tonight, and then do the paint as the next part. So yeah, figure a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing, right? So ultimately, as I mentioned before, the whole idea is that this will be all really clean, organized, well lit, and I'll actually be able to produce way more content and fix way more bicycles and be able to help people out and all that fun stuff. So yeah, cool beans. I'm gonna end it here. Thanks. All right. All right. So craziness has been ensuing. Figured out what was going on with the GoPro. After the firmware update, it changes its settings. So when you go to plug it in, you have to actually manually go in and tell it to talk to your PC. I also figured out that the audio is dying from the audio adapter. So that's potentially good. I'm going to see if I can warranty the audio adapter. Also, when I went to go and move this a little bit because I wanted to be able to paint the whole thing, it basically, the bench fell apart. I discovered that the way it was nailed together, I don't know if you can, yeah, there we go. It was barely nailed together. It was totally falling apart. So when I went to go tug on it, the whole thing just disintegrated. Then the back wall, this fell apart, and then this fell apart. So I just threw up my hands and just ripped the whole thing out. So much for doing it sectionally, right? Yeah, pretty much. So anyways, you can see I've got everything completely prepped. I got the outlet thing done. I've got everything mudded and sanded. I've just got it currently drying, and then I am going to start painting. I'm going to go over this with just regular, well, sorry for the angles. This is just going to be regular white. This, I want to go over it with the Kills paint to be able to seal the concrete. Some of it is starting to get kind of brittle and stuff like that. So I'm gonna paint to the edge. I'm gonna seal all this off. I also think it's leaching from whatever that is, so I want to be able to wipe that down and then paint it. So, but anyway, it's going to look really good, and then after that I can finish this other side, all of this, and then do the floor, and then put the shelves back in. I've also realized that what I'm going to do is I'm going to only build a half a bench. So the bench will start probably about here or so, and then wrap around, and then come to the edge of this wall, and then I can have shelves. And then what I want to do is I've got this TV that's back up in here that I want to be able to put here. Oh, I also want to finish this off so it'll go back here. Sorry for these angles. And then be able to have it set up with a computer and everything else. So yeah, so I'm going to just quickly slap this together, and then I'm going to render it and throw it up tonight. And then that way I can shoot more tonight. Maybe I'll even be able to get my kids to help paint. It's not like it's really complicated to paint white. And then throw that up for the rest. So yeah, so try to make the best of your day. Try to set yourself up for success. Make the best of what you got. Oh, speaking of making the best of what you got, so speaking of kills, like I was saying, you know, there's all this stuff that I ended up inheriting. So I'm like, hey, might as well use it. All right, so go have a nice time. Thank you for being patient. We're gonna get it done. All right.